Friends, this culture cruise is dedicated to Nur and Jamil Islam. They're in Bangladesh, and they're working with me to create a virtual university. So I'm kind of showing them how I do this. And I'm going to start with this story from today. Indian river ritual turns deadly. So a great cultural religious event turns deadly. Dozens are killed after Hindu devotees crash barrier on the festival's busiest day. A tragic loss of life in what could be considered one of the world's largest religious festivals. Unfortunate, okay? Now we'll go over to some routine stuff about how we can understand our human condition, latest trends and things. Taking a high stakes gamble on a $99 a night cruise. Okay. Why bond yields are up amid rate cuts. Well, most of the world doesn't worry about this stuff because they don't have money to invest. Other people do. This takes us back to India, okay? Rapid response spurs benefit concert. Musicians quickly join wildfire relief effort. I didn't have to call anybody. The phone just rang, says organizer. The most memorable concert of my life, I wasn't there at Madison Square Garden, but it was in 1971 when George Harrison and friends organized the concert for Bangladesh. Millions of Pakistanis flooding into India. And it was just profound. I can still hear the words, the rhythm of Billy Preston, who was considered the fifth Beatle, George Harrison, Ravi Shankar. I mean, it was amazing. And so these things are happening today. Great artists gather to help rebuild. Paper Prestidigitator. A show illuminates how Picasso used paper as a material of seemingly endless applications. I wasn't aware of his work with that, but that's neat. Blood on the Tracks, a Dylan classic at 50. Go to sports, the NBA team's shorting the Suns. Phoenix has sent away years' worth of draft picks. The only problem is that they're not winning. Well, Nur and his family and friends in India, they follow sports, the ups and downs, the miracles that can happen, the unexpected victories, etc. The Eagles have a rare shot at revenge in the Super Bowl. That'll be cool. Now let's go to this book, Realm of Ice and Sky, On Top of the World. And this is good history to review about our human condition. In 1905, Walter Wellman was given an assignment by his editor at the Chicago Record-Herald. Build an airship, go find the North Pole, and report by wireless telegraphy and submarine cables the progress of your efforts. In the early hours of May 12, 1926, the navigator of the Norge cried, "Here we are!" The airship had reached the North Pole. Now I'm going to read this final paragraph because it too tells us a lot about our human condition, our human nature. Amundsen retired after the Norge voyage, vowing that he was done with Arctic exploration. Nobile planned another expedition, this time to linger over the Arctic and gather more scientific data, possibly even dropping a crew onto the ice. That trip would go horribly wrong, with Nobile and his team crashing partway into their journey. Ironically, the effort to save Nobile would bring Amundsen out of retirement. Asked why he would risk his life for Nobile, despite their falling out, the Norwegian told an Italian journalist, "There is a sentiment of solidarity which must bind men, especially those who risk their lives in the cause of science." On June 18, 1928, Amundsen and his crew took off from Tromsø, Norway, to embark on their rescue mission. They would never be seen again. This gets us back to, in a sense, loving your enemy. Christ talked about this in the New Testament, right? Sacrificing for those you might disagree with. That happens a lot. So I'm hoping that Nur and Jamil and their family and friends will Yeah, carry on with a virtual university that can help a lot of people over in their part of the world. And the key here is not to post things with judgment. All right, let our God do the judging.